In the summer of 2019, I was disappointed when my original plans for an epic canoe trip was cancelled. Thus, I was left to pick up the pieces. It may not have been my first choice, but sometimes the alternatives can end up being just as amazing. This is our story of our 3-week canoe trip on the Brightsand-Kopka River in northern Ontario. It was a long night of packing the day before we left, but as tired as we were, Ben and I were more than excited to start the trip. Especially as we approach Union Station. Portaging through Union Station has always been a dream of mine, and here was my chance. Whoops! I'm gonna hit everything! It's different portaging a canoe in Union Station.
Allanwater Bridge.
After we checked in, they asked us to portage the canoe to the baggage car, despite constantly bumping into things, and even taking an escalator. We did manage to get it there. Here's a look at our accommodations as we were the first to get onto the train. Despite getting to the train station in time, the train was delayed, setting us back an hour before departure. We'd soon find out that being late is normal for this train. But eventually, we were on our way, leaving the Toronto downtown core. This via train is aptly called the Canadian, as it literally crosses the country from one side to another. It would be a long 26 hours to our journey to Allanwater Bridge, so there was a lot of time to settle in and get comfortable. During that time, we ate, chatted with other people, and saw parts of Ontario from a different perspective. No doubt it was a long ride, especially during the night. Sleep wasn't the greatest in the chairs, so it came in short naps, with the rest of the time spent wandering the cars and watching the landscape from the viewing deck. This had a charm of its own. But the sun did rise, and we found ourselves in a land of small trees and lakes, the boreal forest, where we would soon be dropped off. Thanks, guys! Alright. So we are officially off at Allanwater Bridge. It is 10:45, and you can see the end of the train right over there. Alright, so we gotta sort this gear out and before we get started here. We're just paddling underneath the Allanwater Bridge, and judging by how close we are to the top of the bridge, it looks like we might be having a high water year. So we're just down at McEwen Lake, and we came probably about almost 10K. We're not going to do much distance today just because we didn't get much sleep last night, so we're just going to have a short day, try to get camp set up. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to organize in our packs and our barrels, so we've got some work to do. But yeah, if we can find a campsite, we'll be settling in early for today. So we're just on a small island at the south end of McEwen Lake, and it's a well-used campsite, and it's actually, the view is beautiful. It's nice. We got a nice breeze. No bugs so far, and but we'll set up our bug shelter tonight for sure. And we've got another spot for our tent, either over here or over there. I think we're gonna just go over there because it's nice and flat. But it's a beautiful view, and yeah, we're gonna basically kick back and get a good night's rest, fish, swim, you know, just enjoy first day of the trip. So let's get set up. Put his line in for the first time, and he's already got a fish. He says it's a walleye.
It's a walleye, all right.
Oh man, nice. It looks like a good size too.
Yep.
Oh, that's a perfect eating size.
Good.
Jeez.
Oh, awesome.
Well, I guess the trip is starting on the right note here. I guess we will be having fish tonight.
Yep.
Oops. Okay, we were out fishing, and the wind started whipping up. There's rain coming in the distance, but this is downstream coming this way, and the waves are curling up upstream, so it's crazy. We're just gonna run over there and get our stuff in the tent before it starts pouring. Okay, let's go. The flash rainstorm, although strong, soon dissipated and quickly cleared. So we headed out and fished again, this time catching a pike, which with the walleye caught earlier was more than enough for our evening meal. It was time to start a fire and get supper started. So tonight we're just gonna have a simple pasta dish. It's a sidekick dish, and I've just added some dehydrated broccoli because we've got fillet of walleye and pike to eat tonight. We certainly don't need too much carbs, so we're just gonna make a small pasta dish, and then we're gonna have lots of fish to eat, lots of protein, so it'll be yummy. The pasta is almost done, but the key to the amazing flavor for this pasta has had this secret ingredient, but it's not secret. It's actual bacon, but not the bacon bits that you buy at a store, but this is actual bacon, and we put it in the oven to make it crispy, and we just crumbled it. So this is real bacon bits that are going to be added to this pasta, and they will add some amazing flavor to it. And the pasta will be already good with the added broccoli, but I'll put chips of real bacon in there, and then I'll just add the finishing touch. Oh, should be delicious. There we go. I was going to put a lot more, but I don't think we need to because we got all that fish. And I'm just going to add some just for flavor, add a little bit more, and then we'll just probably add a little bit more when we eat, just to have a nice crispy texture as we bite into the pasta. So that's it. I'm going to take it off the fire and let it sit, and it will absorb, and it will be nice and thick. While I started the fire and cooked the pasta, Ben was busy filleting the walleye and pike. So you can see here the walleye, the flesh is it's a whiter flesh, and then the pike is a little more orangish color. The pike has that Y bone, so Ben's trying to
salvage what I can without wasting.
Yeah.
Because like this one is all Y bone.
So we've just added some fish crisp and throwing the fillets on.
Won't be good.
Won't take very long to cook.
Walleye and pike fish fry.
So what's the verdict?
It's good. Nice walleye fillet. Pasta.
Check this out. Look at that. Look at all that fillet. There's our pasta. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of food. It's a good thing we only made the one sidekick.
That was a second cast with that minnow.
Yep.
Bam. And first cast with the...
Mmm. So good. Oh man. This is a real bushmill.
Hell yeah.
Won't be lacking in protein today, that's for sure.
What's for breakfast?
More fish?
Pickerel.
After our delicious meal, we relaxed around the fire before ending the day early. With full stomachs, we looked forward to a solid night's sleep.
Ours looks like a cafeteria.
Day 1 ended a lot better than we expected. Very little bugs, fish for supper, and a great campsite out in beautiful country. And you can bet we were looking forward to the next 16 days. Good morning. It is day 2, and it's looking to be a hot and muggy day. Yesterday we had a thunderstorm come through, and it looked like it was going to thunder and rain late at night, but it actually just passed. But otherwise, it's been great. The weather's been nice. It was breezy yesterday to keep the bugs away, but the bugs overall haven't been as bad as we thought. But now I'm going to stop myself from making that prediction because it could get worse. But right now it is 7:30 in the morning. We've lost an hour based on the time zone, but we already packed up and ready to go, and it's only like 7:30. So we've got to kind of pace ourselves for this trip because 225 kilometers over like 15 days is not a lot of distance. So even 15 kilometers a day is more than sufficient. So that's why we're going to be fishing. If we get some fish at lunch, we're going to even have a shoreline lunch, and we're just going to take our time and have a good time. Really, that's pretty much it. So let's start today, and let's see how it goes. So we're just on our first portage of the morning of day 2. It's only 120 meters. It just bypasses some rapids because we'll be traveling upstream about 100k on the Brightsand River. And it's in pretty good shape. The description says that once you find it, the portages are pretty easy to follow. The key is just finding them. First pickerel. It's probably about a good 1 pounder, one and a half pounder.
Oh, he's never mind.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I just passed the rod to Ben because he's got a nice platform there. I'm just on a spine of a rock right here, so.
Cut him up, put him in our...
lock and lock.
Have him for lunch.
Yep, we're gonna have lunch today, that's for sure. Second portage, which is a very short one, it's like 45 meters. It's bypassing this nice little falls, I guess you can call it, and the river just hooks to the left. That's why it's so short. But we're gonna see if we can catch a walleye here. We just need one more to supplement the one that I've caught, and it would make for a nice little shoreline lunch. So we're hoping we snag into one here. It's beautiful though. So Ben was gonna just do one more cast. He wasn't getting anything, and then the last one, his walleye, a nice walleye, took his lure. So we've got our second pickerel. Yep, and we've got our shoreline lunch. All right. So we just did the portage, and there's a nice flat.
Cut the fish.
Oh yeah, people have been here before. So take a look at this. This rapid runs right around. This would be perfect for a run.
Perfect for a run, perfect for fishing.
Yeah.
Amazing campsite.
And there's the drop. That's where we were fishing. But yeah, if you look here, there's wood here, there's a little fire pit, and there's a board that someone had cut fish here, so we're definitely gonna have our shoreline lunch here.
Woo! So here's Ben's first walleye of day 2. So we're tied at 2 and 2.
1 and 1.
Or
Oh yeah, 2 points.
2 points,
Yeah.
right? It's about the same size as mine, but his looks a little fatter. So should be able to get a little more meat off of that. So it'll be yummy. Perfect little grill setup that was placed here by someone else, and we're definitely going to take advantage of it. So, just enjoying some pickerel fillet. We just dusted it with some fish crisp. You can see it's really meaty and it's really delicious. Oh man, so good. Fresh fish.
Canoeing lunches the way they were meant to be.
With full bellies, we continued our day's travel, burning those extra calories through portages and admiring things along the way.
Look at that. That's a dead jack pine. We're calling this portage the hurdle portage. There's lots of trees down, and it could use a good chainsaw.
This was the rapid we were portaging around. Gorgeous. Our second carry, and of course, the canoe.
No, let's go across, yeah.
As much as we didn't mind portaging, we often utilized different ways to get up rapids, to change things up. Sometimes we walked the canoe up rapids.
Okay, I'll hold it here.
And other times we lined it up. This time we found a nice flat rock in the middle of a rapid, which we decided to drag across and continue on the upstream side, avoiding the portage altogether. Here is the view of the rapid we managed to bypass. Just gorgeous. We couldn't help cast our lines before we left, and yep, we caught more walleye.
Let's go solid walleye.
With one more walleye filleted, it was time to move on.
So we're just bypassing this rapid. It's a 15-minute portage, but it's a little tricky getting in. So we got the barrels slightly in the water, and we're in current here. So we'll just go up into Antler Lake any minute. Just got to camp for our second night. We are just by a class 3 rapid on the Brightsand River. We were wanting to camp at a good site previously on an island, but it's been occupied by 4 women, so we had to go further on, and I think we came just in time. We started to have a little bit of a sprinkle, and skies are a little dark on that side, and we can hear thunder. We might have an afternoon shower, just kind of like what we did yesterday. We won't have the wind like we did yesterday. This is what it looks like. I don't think too many people have camped here. If you look over here, this is where we set up our bug shelter and our tent. We're all set up just in time for the thunderstorm. And so we'll kick back and relax, and hopefully the thunderstorm will just be passing, and then we should be able to get a fire going and cook supper, because we got some more pickerel fillets to fry up. So you're giving us a cheap whiskey to drink to celebrate? What is this?
That's all you're getting.
We are in our bug shelter because it's raining outside.
It's a little buggy.
Yeah,
and a
little buggy too. But we're just getting comfortable in the tent, and we decided to celebrate with a liter, well, not the whole liter, a liter of Grant's whiskey. And we've kind of broke some new ground with our fishing. Today we've already had a shoreline lunch, and we caught 2 more pickerel, and now we're going to have supper with pickerel. So this is the first time we've ever had 2 meals, catching fish at 2 different instances, and eating twice. So I think we're on a roll here, Ben.
Oh yeah, it's only getting started, and it's gonna pour soon.
It's getting dark.
A lot of thunder.
Yeah, it's getting darker as well. Can you hear it? You might hear the pitter patter on the tarp here, but looks like it's gonna rain. Yesterday we had a temporary thunderstorm for probably about maybe 15-20 minutes, and then it passed. And this might be the same kind of afternoon thunder shower. Hopefully it'll roll in and roll up right back out. Ben told me that this is a cheap, what do you call it, mix?
It's a blended whiskey.
Blended whiskey of good stuff and cheap stuff.
I think just cheap stuff and cheap stuff. But I'm not sure.
So to celebrate good pickerel fishing on this trip.
Hold it.
Trying not to cough and gag. Good. All right, your turn.
It's not gonna last, is it?
Well, if we keep fishing like this, nor is the oil, nor is the fish crisp.
Ah,
There we go.
smooth.
Good fishing, my friend. There's some big thunder
And lightning.
and lightning. You might have got the tail end of it, but it cracked. So there you go. There's the thunder.
Big one.
Yeah. It's raining pretty hard now. We're pretty thankful that we decided to stay here, because we were kind of humming and hawing about continuing on, but it would have been a little while before we got to the next campsite, and which would have entailed a bunch of portages through around rapids. So timing was good. So what are we having tonight?
We're having black-eyed beans stew with tomatoes and Indian sauce.
Yep.
With rice.
Basmati rice.
And 4 fillets of walleye.
We're gonna eat like kings tonight. We're gonna be so stuffed. Overly stuffed.
And then popcorn.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna fit that in.
I think, I know.
The rain's come back again, so we were forced to cook the fish in the bug shelter, which is fine, because here's the results, and it tastes absolutely amazing. In fact, it almost tastes better than on the fire, I think. Maybe because it's controlled, and then we can put more fish crisp on it, but it's delicious. So we've brought in a lemon here, and we're gonna cut a wedge of it.
One of 2.
And we're gonna cut a little wedge of it, and we're gonna add it to the fish to give it some flavor. Not that we really need it, but we brought it, might as well use it, right? Lemon on fresh fish, come on. Can we get better than that? Oh. I'm gonna try one of these ones. Oh, yeah.
Lately my hands, they don't feel like
Oh, oh man. Oh, hot. That is so good. Oh man. What do you think with the lemon? Try it.
I had one.
Did you?
Damn
And?
good.
It's damn good, eh? Oh man, this is like some of the best fish I've had. Alright, excuse me because I'm gonna chow down.
As you may suspect, we ate well that evening. We weren't able to have a fire that night as the rain persisted, but we were more than thrilled as to how the trip was turning out, especially on our first full day. Life was good, and we couldn't wait to experience more of this beautiful place.
Good morning. Just killing a mosquito or two. Just wearing shorts right now. So it's probably about, I think about 6:30, and the sun's already up, which is good because it's been raining pretty much all evening yesterday. Big thunderstorm rolled in, as you know, and it passed, and we thought it was going to clear, but soon after it darkened again and rained again. So everything's pretty much wet, but looks like it's going to be another hot and glorious day. I've got all these mosquitoes buzzing around me. The bugs actually are surprisingly not very bad at all. Nothing like we thought it was going to be. So we're quite happy about that. But yeah, we're just going to get the coffee going and get breakfast going and then soon pack up. So let's see what this day holds. We're going to be along this river for a bit with some portaging. And then after that, I don't know. I'll have to look at the map. But it's another fine day ahead. So what's for breakfast, Benny boy?
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
These pancakes I really like.
Tons of fruit on there, a little bit of syrup. Getting into some new thought.
After a hearty breakfast of pancakes and bacon, we started the day's upstream travel.
Bring it up a little bit. Wedge on these rocks.
It's pretty wedged. So we're just portaging. I think it's about 130 meters around a set of rapids, and I just finished dropping off a barrel, and I just look at this portage, and I've always marveled at these portage trails that were probably in existence for hundreds of years as the First Nations and the fur traders had trodden on. And you can see the well-worn path in amongst the deep lush moss here, and I just found it so cool that along these trails there contains a lot of history. Just come to a nice big set of rapids. I would say this is probably pushing class 3. It's a great view, but here's a campsite. And there's actually split wood here. We would have loved to be here last night. We knew it was further on, but it would have been too long. And we would have in fact got fully drenched by the thunderstorm. But wow, what a view from here. It's gorgeous. And obviously a lot of people have camped here. Look at that nice split wood. And the ground is bare because so many people have been here. And there's even a table. Look at that. Cool.
Here's a closer look at the rapids and ledge we portaged around. Portaging is always a nice break for our legs, and even from paddling, but it was time to get back in the canoe.
Walleye! No, it's a pike.